Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to today's Florida Drive-By. It's about 90 degrees. Today is the 22nd of October 2015. And I hope everybody's doing healthy, wealthy, and wise here today. I don't want to turn here, so I'm going to get over this right lane. And I'm on Northeast Pine Island Road in Cape Coral. This is 78. And Thursday, pretty nice out, 90 degrees. Can you imagine it? October 22nd, 90 degrees. It's a good time of year. It's not too humid in Florida now. It's pretty nice. And, you know, it's really nice. And I wanted to talk about 1911 again, and I want to talk about accurizing a 1911. A cheap 1911, accurizing, in specific, a light one. You know, like the Smith & Wesson, the scandium frames ones, the 1911s. I'm just wondering, you know, why would they make a scandium frame 1911? It's okay, but I think its use as a distance gun is pretty short, because you figure you're going to shoot, and they're not very accurate. I would probably say, they're not very accurate if you think about them scandiums, because they get a lot of muzzle flip. That barrel flips up really hard. So what are some enhancements we can do to lightweight guns to make them controllable, or even some of your heavy ones? I've been thinking of the idea of the scandium is to maybe port the barrel. The Smith & Wesson 1911C cries out for porting, and I found a guy that can port it in between the ribs and the fish scale serrations in the front. Maybe put 2 or 3 ports on each side, or 2 on each side, or whatever. But I think that would give it a lot more control. I think it would be a more controllable gun by doing those ports, by putting them in. So I may actually have that done to my scandium frame. And I like the scandium, but it's not the very best in accuracy. You know, it's not a super accurate gun because the muzzle flip. But I think if you port the barrel and then maybe try to find a barrel weight for the front of it, just a heavier weight that could screw into where the barrel bushing is, or compensate it. You know, like a heavy type compensator to give it some weight. A compensator in porting. And I think the gun would probably be a lot more controllable. And you probably would only be spending minimal amount of money. For a compensator, probably get a compensator for $50. And for porting, it's probably $150. So about $200. You probably have a fairly accurate gun. There really wouldn't be much left to do because the sights are good and all that. But just get some compensating on there so you reduce that muzzle flip. That would actually help a lot in shooting that gun. What about heavier guns? Well, heavier guns that suffer from that porting, compensating is always something to look at. Although I don't know how good, aftermarket compensators are. Porting is probably the best way to do it. But they've got these lightweight guns that they're horrible in accuracy. It's just that the lighter the gun is not going to give you that good added degree of accuracy on it. It's going to be lighter. It's going to have more muzzle flip. And I noted that when I took a Nighthawk Custom ported, and I took the Smith & Wesson 1911C. I like the way the 1911C looks better. It's a better looking gun overall than the Nighthawk Custom. It's just better looking. But the fact that it's ported makes it dead on, rock solid, accurate. You fire that gun and it's bang, you hit exactly what you're shooting on at a target. That's the only thing. It's very, very accurate gun. So you have to weigh that into your considerations. I don't own any 5-inch 1911s, so I can't really speak of it. I had a 5-inch, but I sold it. I actually traded it for the Smith & Wesson. So, and then I see the Smith & Wesson, the Performance Center, has one with lightning cuts on it. They say it's ported, but it's not. It's got lightning cuts in the frame and the slide. So you're going to take a scandium framed light gun already, and you're going to put cuts in it and make it lighter? I mean, the gun's already light, and now you're going to lighten it up more, and you know how much muzzle flip is going to be on that gun then. It's just going to have more muzzle flip, and it's going to be less accurate. That's the only problem, because lightning cuts, the purpose of lightning cuts are if a gun, the slide is like too heavy, or it takes too much, you've got too much mass in the slide, and sometimes it's too hard to get it back. Well, they lighten it up a little, so when you shoot it, the slide will go back easier. But that's really not the case in the 1911 Smith & Wessons, but you know, they put those in there, and I don't know how good that's really gonna do. So there it is, how to make it more accurate. Now, there's some other areas that you can really focus on. You can actually do your trigger. You know, polish out the trigger, make that nice short reset, polish that out. Polish your feed ramp and or chamber. The feed ramp, most 1911s is built into the frame. You just do a little Dremel with a cloth tip and a little buffing compound, and you just buff the shit out of it, and you could, you know, make it look really nice and get it nice and smooth, so you can see a shiny silver, and that makes it look always really nice. Polishing that bad boy out, and then, you know, that would make it more accurate for feeding, at least of ammunition. The feeding would be better, but those are probably the most, you know, things you can do. Maybe a different set of grips, but that's the thing. If you have a gun that's kind of light, that's the only problem with all that damn recoil. You might have a problem being on target and being on task with it. You know, that's the only problem. What I might do is go out tomorrow and do a little bit more shooting, and I'm just toying with the idea of getting that Bob Marvel. Man, that's a lot of money. But the Bob Marvel, you know, it's a full size. It's not ported. It's the only thing. I wonder how good it's going to shoot without being ported. You know, ported guns are really, they're a lot more accurate. I'm telling you, they're pretty dead on nuts with the ported guns. You know, they're a lot more manageable. They fire really good. But, you know, that's something that, you know, I guess each individual, depending on what they like or what they don't like, would have to decide here. And I'm cutting over here. I was going to go straight, but I'm just going to take this way into town. Straight would want me to go on the I-75, but I don't feel like taking the I-75. I'll just take this straight way back. But yeah, I'd like to know what you think. Please let me know, you know, what are some other ways you can make your light 1911 more accurate and fire better, or your heavy 1911 more accurate and fire better. So thanks a lot, and I like to know your advice, guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in to my Florida Drive-By. Thank you.